Hey everybody, this is Klotz-Guest from Keeping It Human, and I want to talk about a couple topics today. I want to talk first of all about storytelling ROI. Why? It's nerdy, it's jargony. Why would we talk about it? Because it's important to think about it. And some people come from the, well, if you have to ask, you're not ready for it. I have a disagreement with that. I think there are macro ways to think about storytelling ROI, and there are micro measures. So let's talk about both of those. You do need to think about the macro picture. So there are ways to think about whether or not your storytelling is working. For example, do your employees understand the big mission of the company? How is morale? Do they all tell the same story, or is it consistent? Do they understand it? Do customers understand the big story? If employees don't understand the big story, that is a problem because they can't be a champion for the brand telling customers if they don't understand it. So there's internal measures, there's ways to think about press, there's ways to think about customers, there's ways to think about employee enthusiasm and brand championship. So those should be measures that you look at. Those should be headed in the right direction. Now there's micro measures too. So further down the funnel, you need to think about things like, what about demand gen and lead gen? Are we telling the right stories? Is it working? Are people signing up? Are they downloading? Do they see that the things that we're offering, the stories that we're telling, apply to them with great content? You can even do things like split testing. So you can actually split test stories. You can offer a white paper, for example, or a download. Nobody offers white papers, I guess, anymore. Or they call them something different. An ebook. Maybe it's a YouTube video. Maybe it's a customer case study. But you can actually tell different versions of that story on different pages and split test and see which version of those stories works best. You can also look at things like the stories that you're telling. Of all the stories you're telling, what % are getting traction? What % are not? Make sure you fix the ones that aren't or drop them and do more of the ones that are. So there is a broader way to think about storytelling. You should be looking at it. Part of storytelling is really about moving business, but it's strategic. It's bigger than that. It's also about rallying everybody and heading everybody the same direction. Your employees should know where they're headed. So there are some measures to think about, both macro and micro. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I'd love to hear from you. What are you measuring when it comes to storytelling? How do you define storytelling ROI? I think these are important things to think about. Until next time, I'm Klotz-Guest of Keeping It Human, and you keep it human too. See you later.